Hello world, I'm Jala Harshpalsi and welcome to the demonstration video of the project Breakout. So I recently started learning the game dev and I'm working with a game engine called Love and a scripting language called Lua. We all know about the original Breakout game, right? It's pretty popular and personally I love playing it. So I thought, why not build one for myself? So here I am presenting to you my very own Breakout game. Hope you like it. So before I start the demonstration, let me show you a few clips of the game that I pre-recorded so you can get the idea of how the game looks. So sit back and enjoy the ride. You're back. So, how do you like it? Let me know in the comments. So, now let's start the actual demonstration, shall we? First things first, let's take a look at the main menu. Main menu has 4 options, which can be traversed using up and down arrow key, and each option can be selected using the enter key. First option on the menu is start, selecting which will of course start the game, but before that you will be given the choice to select the color of your paddle. This is a purely aesthetic feature which is intended to add customization and personality to the gameplay, but performance wise it does not affect the gameplay at all. Pressing the escape key anywhere in the game will bring you to the main menu. Now to shut the game down, you can either select the exit option or press the escape key while in the main menu. So the second option, how to play, is something that you would want to take a look at before playing. It's like a manual. It has 3 sections. First one is about basic rules of the game, which I think most of the people will already be aware about, but it also explains different kind of bricks that are part of the game. The second section is about controls, and the third section is about power-ups. Now there are currently 4 power-ups in the game. The one that you see on the top will increase your paddle size by 1, but the effect is not permanent. Whenever you lose a heart, your paddle size will also decrease by 1 unit. The one on the right side will spawn 2 extra balls. Now this is my favorite because it helps you, but at the same time it creates chaos because you have to keep track of 3 balls at a time. The one on the bottom is the key. Now as you play the game, you will notice this kind of bricks in the game. These are the lock bricks which cannot be destroyed directly. First you have to collect the key. Once you do that, these bricks will be unlocked and then they can be destroyed normally. The one on the left with the heart symbol on it, this power up will restore one of your hearts. That covers the manual. Now let's take a look at the high scores. So the third option is where you can check out the top 10 high scores. You can scroll through the list using the up and down arrow keys. Initially the list will be empty, but whenever you score the points which deserve place in top 10, you will be asked to enter your name. Once you do that, your name will be added to the Hall of Fame along with your score. Furthermore, I want to discuss some topics that I learned while working on this project. We are gonna go a bit technical, so sit tight. So let's first discuss the procedural level generation, which is pretty much the core of this game. Breakout is a level-based game, and design the level for the games, designer has two choices. Either they can pre-design each level by themselves, or they can use an algorithm to generate the levels dynamically on the run as the player plays the game. Now this is known as procedural level generation. Now don't take it wrong, both of these processes have their pros and cons. While the pre-designed levels provide rich player experience because the levels are designed with one thing in the mind, player satisfaction, but they also require quite a lot of resources, one of which is time. Apart from that, with the pre-designed levels, we can only have a finite amount of levels because each level needs to be designed by hand. Whereas in the case of PLG, although there is no concept of infinite in the world of computers, we can have an algorithm which generates a large amount of levels, and the players are not going to be able to complete them all. So technically we can say we have infinite amount of levels, or an infinite world or an infinite map in case of an open world game. Well, there is another key difference between the two processes. With the pre-designed levels, a level is always same for me, for you, or for anyone that plays the game. Well, if you use the PLG, a level can be different with each gameplay, and that's the very case with this game, Breakout. Every time you replay, levels might change because they are generated dynamically using an algorithm. Now let's see some examples. Some of my favorite games that uses the pre-designed levels or maps are Super Mario Bros., Fire Emblem series, Final Fantasy series, and to mention some Android games, Grim Valor and Swordigo. The examples of the game that uses the procedural generation are my favorite, Minecraft, Terraria, Flappy Bird, and well, if you guessed, my very own game falls into this category. Next, I want to discuss the particle systems. While procedural generation was the core of the game, this is just a minor aesthetic detail. While playing the game, you will notice that when the ball hits the brick, some particles shake and fall off the brick. In fact, this notion of spawning a bunch of particles in a certain space and then giving them certain acceleration in a certain or randomized direction is so much common in the games that most of the game engines come with their own inbuilt particle system classes. While playing the game, if you notice the complex features like the fire or the smoke or the blast, then it is most likely that they've been implemented using the particle system of the game engine on which that game is built. So, okay, finally, that was all that I wanted to discuss. I hope you liked the video and will also like the game. Well, this video thing was something new for me, so please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I will surely be working on more projects like this, so stay tuned and stay curious.